Hi everyone and welcome. It's Lauren here from Acting Classes in Perth. This is episode number 12. Can you believe it? 12 days in and I'm loving it. This is, of course, the Acting Classes in Perth, your questions answered daily show. The show where I sit down and answer all your acting-related questions at 7 p.m. every single day here on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live simultaneously. Now, a huge thank you and a big shout out if you are already watching us here live. Thank you so much to everyone. I can see you guys starting to click in now and starting to view it. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Before we get into this episode, I think it's only fair that we, run the intro. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, and today's question comes into us from Diane. Now, before we jump into Diane's question, if you are watching us or joining us, please give us a big thumbs up. We would love to know that you're there. Leave a comment or simply say hello. I do try to get back to everyone as quickly as I can after this has gone live. Now, it's time, I think, that we take a moment and we respect the fact that Diane took the time and effort to send in a question. So let's listen to today's question, which comes to us from Diane.
So how do you prepare to get into a character, especially if you've never played that character before? Thanks for answering my question.
Diane, thank you for what is an amazing question. And I think this is actually part of the most rewarding and best part of being an actor or being able to tell stories through stage or film or television. And that is that you actually get to immerse yourself in a world and in worlds and lives of people who are very much not like you at all. I think that's quite rewarding. You get to see the world in more of a totalistic sense, right? Like you get to see how other people interact and how other people feel and what makes them be the people they are, all the experiences that have led them to this very moment, to this very scene, to this very film. It's such a rewarding job, and especially from a directorial side as well, same thing. It's so incredibly rewarding. Look, I'd say to you, first of all, the most important thing, and I think the step to start with would be reading the script and starting to identify what are the facts in that script. Then you're going to try to carry those over and then start to really build the world and the understanding of who this character is through character development, but more importantly and more specifically through character research. Now, if you're playing a character who you've never played before, who doesn't resemble you much, if at all, in your own life, it's really important that you understand your job is to tell their truth, is to tell their story, and not your judgment or interpretation on who they are or on who or what their story is. So to do that, you really need to build a solid understanding of their life, their world, and you can do that in quite a number of ways. Don't forget that we live in a world where you have immense amounts of information at your fingertips, absolutely free, on the Google, on the interweb. It's all there for you. So you can really, sit down and start researching for hours upon hours of the types of character that you're looking at, the types of people that you're looking at and playing in this film. You can really immerse yourself through not only text and reading about them, but also a lot of YouTube, right? So I feel that most characters, if they're a real person, if they're a creature, you're going to go on a whole different journey, and I don't feel that that's relevant to this question today. But I would say number one then is to jump down, identify the facts in the script. Number two is start to build your character, research this person and maybe who this person could be. And you're going to do that, number one, jump on the internet, start doing as much research as you can. That in turn is going to lead you to specific people in life. Maybe they're in Perth, maybe they're in Australia, maybe they're somewhere else on the planet. It does not matter. You're going to find people who are very similar or have very similar traits to the character that you are hoping to play. And what you're going to do is then study those individuals. You may be able to, depending on the type of person it is, reach out to that person and, gain a greater and a stronger understanding for who they are, how they think, the situations they've been through in life, their goals, their aspirations, their desires, their regrets, everything like that. And then even beyond that, don't forget that there are so many organizations out there. And, if your character has maybe a mental health issue, then you can go to an organization that specializes in helping individuals with, say, that mental health issue. Or if you have someone who is, maybe going through a really struggling relationship, then, there are a whole lot of groups and organizations online that can allow you to connect with, say, forums and communities where a lot of those people are coming together. And you don't have to actively go in and necessarily ask them questions. That could be a bit confronting. You could just go into those forums and those chat spaces and really just sit back and observe and listen to what they're saying, listen to the word choices, and maybe start to think about how that feeds back into their own inner dialogue or their own inner story for their life, and start to use aspects of that anonymously for your characters. Yeah, I think that's really important. So there are so many ways that you can start to immerse yourself, Diane, into the world of your character, especially if you've never played them. It's really your job, right? Like, although you may play characters that have parts of you in them, I would say a lot of your characters are probably going to be a lot more complex. And I think maybe the more interesting characters are going to be the ones that you don't fully understand, because I think that is, like what I said at the beginning, probably the best part of being an actor, growing your mind, growing your understanding of the world, and gaining a better perspective on the human nature and on human psyche. So I would say go out, immerse yourself in as many ways as you can. Talk to, connect with, research, watch, read, listen to, and ask valuable questions. And that way, you're going to take notes, you're going to take a lot of information down, and then you can reflect on that and start to build the world of your character, Diane. Thank you, Diane. This is a beautiful question. Thank you so much for sending it in. If you too liked Diane's question, show your support by clicking the share button and help out your fellow actor. Now, if you are watching us here on Facebook, please click the like button on our page and also click follow our page so you stay up to date with everything we're doing. On top of that, if you are watching us on YouTube, click subscribe and then click the notification bell to stay in contact with everything that's happening here at Acting Classes in Perth and with all these videos that come out live. If you are listening to us finally on iTunes, click subscribe. We will keep you updated. Now, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to see you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another awesome question answered by me. My name is Lauren Johnson. This is Acting Classes in Perth. This specifically was our daily show. I'll see you again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Until then, stay safe, and like always, happy acting. Ciao.